Nice. Now can we hear? Now.
Nice.
Nice.
Now can we hear?
All right.
Now.
All right.
Nice.
Now it's time to do it. Are we here? Oh my gosh, and we're lagging. Let's fucking roll. Okay, so I'm wondering why it's not showing the screen the best. I'm out in the morning. Okay, if it'll load, man. If it'll load. Whoa, what? Chill. We know what we're doing here. We're gonna have to get a Sflx. I gotta see the live catch back up. Holy shit.
Green the best.
And it shows less of the screen.
Okay, if it'll load.
Hmm.
Shows less of the screen.
Okay. Let's do this the best we can for y'all.
Okay. Let's do this the best we can for y'all.
I think that fits better. And let's just hop in a draft, baby. 20 seconds a pick.
I think that fits better.
You know, we only got 3 people in here, so I'm not going to even waste any time to let y'all join or nothing. We just going to join it. Woo! Let's go. Waiting on 9. You know what we got to do in the meantime. So I ain't going nowhere far. I ain't going nowhere far, man. I'm right here. While we wait for this baby to fill up, you know, I'm going to have to fill up my water. Fill up my water. Fill it up. Do all of the things to be ready for a draft, man. Sflx. Sflx. Hey, depending on who in here right now, you know, join up. Join up. Can y'all see my underwear? Nope. 7 more people. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Liddy. Liddy. In the first live. In the first live. Woo! Yeah. Waiting on 5. Waiting on 5. Alright. It's only me and Zach, so we can be patient while I go fill up my water. I'll be right back. Waiting on 3.
Alright. It's only me and Zach, so we can be patient while I go fill my water.
Did the draft start? Did the draft start? The draft started! Alright, what pick do we got? 9! You know what that means? I'm probably gonna take neighbors, honestly, just in this one. Oh, I'm tripping. This is Sflx. Yeah, we gonna get our Jettas. Maybe Mahomes. Let's see what we do. Let's see what we do. Start the clock. You know who gonna go first? Josh Allen, Lamar Jack. So those are the first 2 off the board, and then JD. Let me turn my phone audio off so y'all don't got this echo. And we see Saquon go as the first skill off the board. Dude, also, you know, these are the ways that you really find yourself winning is when you end up in a board where Saquon goes, and then Chase goes here, and then two people take their skill player, Bijan or Jettas or even a Mahomes, over Burrow, where Burrow makes it to you at 9. Those are the ways where you end up in the lobbies aligning to the things like that, where FK Coolers picks Bijan, and Yamit picks, which I played with Yamit before, picks J-Jet or Gibbs. Now, Coolers is auto, so he gets his burr. But it's like those are the alignments that we look for. So here at pick 9, you know, I really do know what it has to be. But we are just going to do the Mahomes because we kind of know what that can be. And it's really just about, I mean, bro, Mahomes' trajectory from here on out as the worthy generation opens is only, you know, we know what it's looking like. Even last year, it's like he's not going to be like some fantasy QB, but he's still always going to be top, bro. He's the GOAT. So we got 3 people between us at the turn, taking 2 picks. We see our 2 guys of tier 1 go, Justin Jefferson and Jahmyr Gibbs, before we're going to be liking whoever's back on the clock. So Baker goes. Obviously, we're going to take our highest skill position. And then at pick 33, that leaves us with ADPs of guys like... give us Brock. Give us 2 first-rounders in whoever we get here at this turn and Brock. As you guys know, we have Brock coming out soon as 11 in our official ranks. He's going to only be moving closer and closer to the first round before he goes at pick 6, 7 for the rest of, just like Kelsey had been. So we see Genty, CD, and CMC go before I could love doubling up with Bo or even considering Kyler. But bro, I'm just fucking all around with this draft. We're taking neighbors. Even having D-Hen over neighbors in my ranks. This is a team with an interesting build that would not be anything I've done before, where we start with Mahomes and neighbors, and we know that at our next round we're getting ourselves a Brock Bowers, which you end up with that, and that's, you know, obviously Mahomes is different than what I would say as 3 first-rounders, but it's neighbors, it's Bowers, and then it's Mahomes filling out your QB position. And, bro, I'm going to be real right now. Like, I don't envision the Mahomes teams that you have to pick them at pick 9 being the teams that are OP. But I do think if you build the right teams with the Mahomes, you have the teams that advance. And so we're just showing our draft outside of this. Checking the board, seeing who's going. We see D-Hen go 4 picks after, followed by after Bo, Jay Fields, and Kyler. For Brock, Puka, Achan, and Nico. And you see Nico and fucking Amon-Ra falling to the 2-3 turn, which if this guy takes, which he doesn't, he takes Dak. But it's like, come on, bro. That's how we win. And I won't even say don't, because let me have fucking Amon-Ra, wide receiver 2, with Mahomes' neighbors. So, Wade Dongio starts his team with Jaden Daniels, Puka Nacua, Amon-Ra. Solid. We have what we are creating. 3 picks away. 3 guys in between us, taking their Caleb Williams, taking this guy's first RB or wide receiver. This guy Yamit should take his first receiver. And we got a lot of QBs on the board. We got a couple receivers up here, but see what people do. Yamit might take his second quarterback. His auto gives him JJ. Yamit takes Drake London. And we have Brock Bowers. Tight end 1, he's going to fucking dominate, mate. So we start our team with Mahomes, the league neighbors, and Brock. And we're building out the Superflex. At this turn, we have pick 40. So we see Herbert go, which obviously would be a love, but I have no problem having Penix if I'm going to do that. And the biggest thing is, you know where we actually find our values. And Superflex, the QBs really all get eaten up, especially now that Aaron Rodgers is picked 60 rather than how he used to be at 90. But even Shuck Russell Wilson. But I'd rather have one more of them before 60. So that's my next pick. No, it's not. Yeah, my next pick, I can take my next QB, which means we're probably, unless we take T-Law or Penix, taking AJB or Josh Jacobs right now, or Lad McConk. And we're killing these kids. Now, who are the guys who are going to be available if we waited and took the QB now? Yeah, good. But I am going to go crazy and take Lad McConkey. Now, like I'm saying, this is an interesting team. This is going to be some correlation and stuff that we have not seen before out of a team from us. Where we have Mahomes, we pick Neighbors over all our guys like Amon-Ra, Nico Collins, T-Hen, etc. And we pick Lad over our guys like AJB and Josh Jacobs, which I really just see how this consistency in a cumulative format puts up the points that we're looking for throughout this season. And so we're just going to build the RB room, build the flex and super flex room, and it's going to be cooks. Game over for these kids. So 9 picks away. Here is the rest of the round after Lad. Ooh, I'm the only one in here. Let's fucking do this. TFT in a live drafting a super flex at Folk Trebs at Nice. Let's get in here. Let's get after it. So, we see Penix go after Lad, followed by Chase Brown, Jonathan Taylor, AJB, Stafford, Josh Jacobs, Tua, Brees, Omarion, Trey, Cam Ward, Bryce Young, Sam Darnold. Garrett Wilson and T follow Kieran, and we're on the clock stacking Rashi. Even though, you know, we'd love fucking Tyreek. You know what? Aaron Rodgers being the last QB, we will take. And if Rashi is not our destiny, we won't get him. We'll get Tyreek, we'll get Marv, we'll get James Cook even, or we'll get Terry McLaurin. Or we'll get Chuba Hubbard, or we'll get Kenneth Walker or Kamara. You know, we got guys. And then, in the whole alignment, you know, I mean, these guys, yeah, I bet CJ Stroud's team. Don't get Rashi. But what does that mean? What does Worthy go at? 64, 81. Worthy, make it to 81. Worthy, make it to 81. Worthy's ADP is 80.5, man. It's 80.5, man. It's 80.5, man. So James Cook went. I think we're taking Terry McLaurin. Or we're taking Chuba. Chuba or K9. Chuba. This is a very interesting build. Very interesting build, I tell you. So, again, we bring in the Chuba. Probably have K9 higher in the ranks, but Chuba for the consistency being the RB1 on this team. Let's make sure we got points every week. K9 could have a few weeks out. So we bring in Chuba. We know we'll have some RBs coming in later. And we took him over Terry, which we don't do a lot. You know, I'd love having Terry on top of this explosive receiving core playing at the flex. However, our pick 81, Worthy makes it to. And just knowing that, is why we secured knowing Worthy as our wide receiver 3, a.k.a. Flex 1, is that we got our RB1 so that we can dip into the next tiering of RBs, and they don't have to be the 1. They can be the 2s. We can take a Mont. We can do whatever. Caleb Johnson Pacheco. Shuck and AR are both interesting. Oh my gosh. Zay Flowers out here is wild, man. Juwan Jennings, Brian Robinson, Chris Olave. Just building our queue now, man. Going through, seeing the guys that, yes, Zay Flowers had to get fucking reached on. But over Terry McLaurin, could be crazy. Could be crazy, man. Jaden Reed out there at 111 in the Superflex, bro. Also, was it just a dream? Or was there somewhere? Yes, there was. That I drafted Jaden Reed 3 fucking rounds later than Matthew Golden. Some shit don't make sense, man. Ripsky, Manifestiski. We're getting Worthy. We have Xavier Worthy. See who's on the board. See who's on the board. Dude, Terry McLaurin, though. Stop it. Worthy goes, and so does McLaurin. Now it's an interesting game. We don't got the same things that we was necessarily loving. Interesting. So we didn't get either of the stacks, man. It might just end up being a Kelsey stack that plays at the flex a lot. But, bro, I think I'm taking David Montgomery RB2, and then I'm probably going to pair it with one of these others as a playoff-type RB3. Caleb Johnson or Pacheco. Let's look at our ADPs here. We've got 88 before 105 and 112. So, in our queues, 105, that means all these guys before Chris Olave and up, we would have to take at this pick. So Pacheco goes. Seeing DK make it. I don't. Stacked Aaron Rodgers, though. Wide receiver 3. Plays at the flex. ADP 76. Biggest faller. Dude, you're really not going to see me build a team or do a draft like this ever again. Yeah, let's show the team. How well can you see the team? This is the best it's allowing us to show it. So, we got Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Chuba David Montgomery, Malik Neighbors, Ladd, and DK, wide receiver 3, with Brock. Or not wide receiver 3, but flex 1 with Brock. Which is interesting, taking him over all these guys. I mean, I might even say that Juwan Jennings and Chris Olave could outscore DK. But just considering the ADP faller being stacked to Aaron Rodgers as the wide receiver 3 or flex 1 is kind of where some of the extra value came in for already a team that you really haven't seen before. Like, literally, it's not a Solera team. It's not a team that you see us draft. But it's definitely a great team for us that as Fantasy Destined to throw out there. Because not only when you got Brock, but also, like I mentioned earlier in the draft, I said, honestly, like, I don't really envision a lot of the Mahomes teams where you have to take them at pick 9 being the teams. I don't necessarily. However, if you build the team around it, which we took Neighbors over all our guys like Amon-Ra, Nico Collins, D-Hen, except Puka in this draft. Same with Ladd over our Josh Jacobs and our AJB. They're not things you see us do that much, but they're all this kind of idea of what actually gets put together and works with this team that we're drafting here. DK at wide receiver 3, whatever. It's kind of a dream. So we're 6 picks away. I also would love finding ourselves Kelsey. And I'm not sure if he can make it, but that's really like a if he does slip. Oh, yeah, down to 112. So I'm probably going to take somebody in Kelsey, unless there's just 2 guys more valuable than Kelsey, which there might be because Kelsey went. So we don't get any Chiefs stacking, which I guess is destiny. We'll just have Mahomes spreading it around to all of them. And then, again, 105 and 112 before 129. So I'm great with Chris God. And probably I'm just going to be great with Chris Godwin and Jaden Reed. And, like, let's just roll. Let's just roll. So, oh, I'm not on the clock yet. So we'll see if Reed makes it to us, go from there. And then at the next round, we should bring in Javonte, RB3. That's cool. It's cool by me. At 129, his ADP is 130. You know, see what sits. See what is destiny. Let's check on the chat. Let's check on the chat. Let's check on the chat. It'd be easier if I could do it while I was looking at my draft, which I probably could. Can I? No. Alright, hold up. Back in a draft. Focus up. Jaden Reed. So, what are we saying? Right. It's a sneaky trap when you take Rodgers, though. Schittsburg can hold you back, man. And it's real. Especially having the stack. But that's why it's not about the stack. We have what it's about, and they just do their thing. And we know we draft so much more intelligent throughout all these later rounds than everyone because we know our guys, and people pick guys that other people pick. And, like, that's where those stacks with Schittsburg, like, I called it DK dumpster fire at the start of the offseason. Yeah, Neighbors over all of them is definitely interesting, and I see Amon-Ra as wide receiver 4 and as 3, and Neighbors as wide receiver 4, and I just know what it is, and so I have certain people who I hear and listen to saying, like, Neighbors at the top of their list, and for me, watching as the athlete specialist how much they worked him. Remember back to his concussion. It almost all looked like what people classically call overtraining, where they are not stopping playing him. He is gassed the fuck out, and they are still playing him full intensity. And so it really took a toll on his body that we know what the adaptation for the following year will be. I still have him finishing below Amon-Ra, which I took him over Amon-Ra here, but that's more so just for some of that spread, for some of that, you know, like, it can always just come down to the playoff weeks. And Neighbors is definitely future higher than Amon-Ra. He's just in a way shittier situation right now. And that's why we're building in the interesting wide receiver room. Because it's two, wow, I don't even know what to call these 3 teams. The Giants, the Chargers, and the Steelers. Let's check in on our players. Javonte still sitting right for us, where our next pick probably looks like a Jaden Higgins. And then or a Shaheed or a Keon Coleman or a Rashad Bateman. Consider a Trey Harris or Rashad White. So, oh, Josh Downs. Yo, chill. Thanks. That makes life easy. We were gonna roll the dice, take Josh Downs and take either Najee or Williams if they made it, and probably wouldn't have gotten either. And definitely better for this team to have Javonte, wide receiver 3, RB3, especially come playoff time. So we can really kick with 2 RBs, our best 2 RBs, Chuba, Javonte, David Montgomery, if either ever, just need 11. And then we got our powerhouse of this team. Holy shit, those 5 receivers. Jaden Higgins goes, so we get Keon, Cooper Kupp, or Rashid Shaheed. Keon, Cooper Kupp, or Rashid Shaheed. Random wheel spinner 1 through 3. Keon, Cooper Kupp, or Rashid Shaheed. Keon, Cooper Kupp, or Rashid Shaheed, motherfucker. Let's explode. I think Cooper Kupp could have definitely been the, yeah, he gonna put up some points a few weeks. But we gonna ride with Rashid, wide receiver 6 on the team. You know, we got super flexes to fill. We got flexes to fill. And so sometimes that just takes some depth of explosivity. Okay? We got 6 wide receivers, 2 QBs, 3 RBs, and 1 tight end. You know, we'll just end up with 1 more tight end with Mr. Big Brock. I'm not sure YouTube's community guideline words and violations yet, so I'm taking it easy right now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more picks, 8 more players to the team. What was that? Only round 12? Yes. So, yeah, we're going to keep building this one. We're going to keep building this one, man. Because this is definitely one that just eats. Likely 143. You know, that's perfect. We end up with Hunter Henry late. Or Kate Otten, dude. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh, man. Where can we get Kate Otten? 190? 184? Sheesh. Sheesh. Versus, we got to take Henry there. Okay, so there or there. Let's see all the guys on the board now. 7 picks away. I like Trey. I like Rashad. I like Captain. I like Mims. I like Hollywood. Ooh, could still get that stacking in. Tank. Hunter Henry, we know is right there. I don't think I'm doing that. Well, where's K-Dot? K-Dot at... Yeah. Oh, that might not make it. Okay. I'm probably taking Hunter Henry then. At the second pick of the turns. So who we taking first then, buddy? Braylon Allen. All right, let's look at who we got. Trey Benson. Goes. Rashad White. And we know we're getting some RBs later. Our picks being 60 and 77. 60 and 77. 60 and 77. 60 and 77. Okay. I'm taking Rashad White. I didn't really like the other backs. Rashad White gives the simplest, just not really worried about taking a bunch of big weeks, like if I was having a tank or maybe a Braylon. But then I think what we'll do here is realistically come away with Hollywood, Kirk, or Mims. Where at the next round, whether Hunter Henry or a Gesicki fall, we get him or a Otten paired with whatever the other probably receiver, unless the RB makes it. And then we probably only got like 4 picks after that. Finish out the squad with all our late names. The big Q. There goes Hollywood. Definitely enough. We needed none of the stacking. Captain Kirk too. So we bring in Marvin Mims. Wide receiver 7. And we're doing it over Tank. Is this official? And we're doing it over Hunter Henry. Is this official? Nah, motherfucker. We have Hunter Henry finishing as a top 10 tight end, so it would only make sense. Henry, I think, finished as tight end 12 last year. So we'll take him and leave the rest of the guys to our next picks. Because we know Pop Douglas is coming. And so 177 and 184 before 4 picks in the 200s. Shit. Any QBs left? You bring in a Milrow for playoff potential on this team. I would not have a problem doing that. Outside of that, we don't need another tight end. And that means 3 more picks for some players. We know the guys we take in the late picks. Could always end up with A.J. Dillon, but I definitely have a lot of that. Don't need it. We'll just see who makes it in these 7 picks. I kind of feel like we're getting one of Tank or Braylon. And then at the turn, we probably end up with Jack Besh or... Oh! No, yeah, we're probably getting one of the RBs and then Milrow. And then... We gotta see Pop Douglas, right? He might not make it to my pick 201. Alec Pierce could. De'Armond Brown's interesting. Noel, Calvin Austin, definitely. For the Coral. Nice. Yo, this bitch dark. This bitch dark. Let me flip a light on. Up in 2. There we go. I've been missing the chat though. Draft more lad. Hashtag draft more lad. Yo, I'm on a clock. Yeah, so we get our Braylon to finish out the RB room with these 5. Chuba, David Montgomery, Javonte Williams, Rashad White, and Braylon Allen. And that's a beautiful room. Paired with the QB room, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. And I kind of felt like I wasn't getting Milrow in there. Which is where we're going to bring in... Do we do Shedeur? Probably not. He not really going to do that. So, we'll just rip the 2 QBs. We would just rip the 2 QBs and we will bring up the skill positions. Which could mean we end up with a 3rd tight end. Who's available? Jonnu slipping, sliding. Yo. Okay, we are going to take Pop Douglas over Jack Besh. I'm interested in that one. See how it plays out. And also over Jonnu. This is where Destiny plays. We have Brock. Okay. We have Brock and Hunter Henry. So we really don't need the 3rd. But why I would have loved Jonnu and why I took the risk of he's been sliding, so everyone have been picking others over him. So maybe they'll keep doing it like Shedeur in the real NFL fucking draft and he'll slide to us. Because I would love to have that stack with Aaron Rodgers, especially knowing that I've got DK and I'm going to have Calvin Austin. So that would probably mean that Pop Doug was the sacrifice if we did take the 3 tight ends. But, bro, that would only be because our fucking tight end would be slipping in at the flex a lot. Which, like, it could be cool when it was stacked to Rodgers, but decently enough, that just gives us the receiver stacks. And you always wonder how this Jack Besh falls because I've gotten him 20 picks after ADP before. Ooh! Calvin Austin. Nice. Hey, you know, we just drafting by ourselves right now, but we still building a foundation. At least it's on alive. On delay. Right. Start building events. You start making... Right. Gotta find the Destin community, man. Start aligning all the people who watch the fantasy content, who dive in with the fantasy mind. 3 picks away for the Besh 22 pick faller. For the 22nd. For the 22nd birthday. Let's see it, man. I mean, I guess it would only make sense to put this video up on the channel. Does he take Jack Besh? He takes Alec Pierce. Jack Besh, 22. Faller for the 22. Nice. That probably completes the wide receiver room with 8 of them. And we got 3 picks left. 3 picks left. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, 3 picks left. We're about to have a second one here at the turn. Let's see. Yeah, I'm really not taking another QB unless I was going to take Sam Howell. Which I don't think I'm going to. Let's get a flex player. So, tight ends. Could definitely end up with Fryermuth. Definitely not necessary, though. It's really RBs. Are there any more we want? I think we're said we're done. Could take a Cam Akers. Wide receivers. Dude, I'm about to take Jalen McMillan. Oh my gosh, we're not finishing at wide receiver. What? Oh, I took him over. Yoshavaz. Yeah, cool. Cool, bro. And then there's so many receivers we could end up with, and we're probably just fucking stacking the receiver room and having all these flex options. So these are some of our late guys. Burton, you don't need to, you can ignore that one. So, yeah, we'll probably just take 2 of these guys or Cam Akers or A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon. What y'all know about that? What y'all know about that, huh? Bang. Bang. All right. Let's start about Ja. So 2 more picks to the team. 2 more picks to the squad. And this is just another example of what these teams look like, man. That go into the investment. Oh, my love. Oh. Yeah, 7 picks. Oh yeah, top spot. Dude, I would finish this team with Yoshavaz and Speedy Naylor, man. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Do we? Do we? Yoshavaz. Are they going to let me have 11 wide receivers? They have to. They have to. Is a super flex. They gave 2 extra spots. They have to. And then Speedy Naylor to finish it out, man. And these boys don't know what they got coming for them. Holy smokes. And that's how we do it, bro. And that's how we do it. We just gonna rip the 2 QBs, Mahomes and Rodgers. We build the room of RBs. Chuba, Mont, Javante, Rashad, and Braylon. You could get some a week 15, a week 16, a week 17 out of Braylon, man. And then Malik Neighbors, Ladd McConkey. Ooh, scary wide receiver 1 and 2 throughout the season. Filled with DK, stacked up there to A-Rod. Chris Godwin, come playoff times at that flex, dominate. Jaden Reed, dominate. Beast. Rashid Shaheed, explosive. Pop Douglas, working for the wide receiver 2 role. Jack Besh, same thing. McMillan. You'll see some injuries, bro. Correlated with Godwin. Correlated with Mike Evans going down. And then we still got Yoshavaz Naylor with the simple tight end room of Brock Bow and Hunter Henry. And let's wrap it up there, man. I don't even know how long this been, but let's wrap it up. Let me figure out how to do this, but for anyone who ever sees this, you know, this is real. This is on some genuine. This is just the start, bro. We're getting into entering Fantasy Destined Season 2. And it's July, coming into August. We know what's coming more and more as the season starts. And then once we got 100% of fantasy players playing fantasy, we know what comes from there. So season 2, big things coming. Y'all are seeing the drafts. We got more content to get out. And realistically, it should look like a lot more of this. Just because this can be so much more hobby work style. So let's fucking do this. Fan desk to the moon. Giveaways probably only a month and a half out now. So keep staying tuned on the IG. And let's win all.